The Awakening Edge. The vast chamber of the Galactic Commonwealth's High Council gleamed with polished surfaces and alien technologies that would seem like magic to most humans. Representatives from 37 advanced civilizations lounged in their ergonomically designed seats, each adapted to their unique physiologies. Some floated in suspension fields, others reclined on specialized cushions, while several existed as holographic projections from distant worlds. Supreme Counselor Vex Mora, an imposing figure with iridescent scales and 6 calculating eyes, flicked a dismissive hand at the holographic display of Earth rotating slowly in the center of the chamber. "This planet barely deserves our attention," Vex Mora's voice reverberated through the council chamber. "Their technology is primitive, their political systems fractured, and their military capabilities laughable. They've only just begun to venture beyond their atmosphere with any regularity." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembled representatives. The Commonwealth had been observing Earth for decades, cataloging its resources, studying its inhabitants, and assessing its potential threat level. The conclusion had always been the same. Earth was a backwater world of little consequence. Yet they occupy a strategic position, countered Counselor Zinlura, her delicate features glowing with a soft blue luminescence. Their solar system contains valuable resources and sits at a crucial navigational junction. We should not dismiss them entirely. Vex Mora's upper eyes narrowed. "I am not suggesting we ignore them, merely that we need not treat them as equals. Their integration into the Commonwealth should be simple. They will provide resources and labor, and in exchange, we will elevate them from their primitive state, as we have done with countless other species." The holographic display shifted, showing Earth's cities, military installations, and orbital facilities. To the Commonwealth, they seemed quaint, almost childlike in their simplicity. The Council viewed humanity as they would view an ant colony, fascinating in its way, but ultimately insignificant. Little did they know that deep beneath the lunar surface, Commander Elena Reyes was watching them too. The monitoring station, buried 2 kilometers beneath the lunar regolith, was a marvel of human engineering. Officially, it didn't exist. Not on any budget, not on any roster, not even in the highest echelons of most world governments. Yet here Elena stood, watching aliens discuss Earth's fate as if they were deciding the menu for dinner. "They've been monitoring us for that long?" she asked, her voice tight with controlled anger. Dr. Sanjay Kumar nodded, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "At least 40 years based on our calculations. Their surveillance tech is impressive, nearly undetectable until we develop the quantum resonance detectors." Elena's dark eyes never left the screen showing the Commonwealth's meeting. At 42, she had spent half her life in various military and intelligence operations, but nothing had prepared her for this. The revelation that Earth was being observed by advanced extraterrestrial civilizations had come just 3 years ago, when a routine satellite deployment had detected anomalous energy signatures in Earth's orbit. "And they think we're primitive," she said with a thin smile. "That's good. Let them underestimate us." Colonel Marcus Chen, head of security for the installation, crossed his arms. "Operation Silent Thunder is ahead of schedule. The production facilities in Antarctica and the Marianas Trench are at full capacity. The orbital platforms are nearly complete and remaining undetected thanks to the stealth systems." Elena nodded. "And the Commonwealth has no idea?" "None," confirmed Sanjay. "Their surveillance focuses on conventional military installations and our public space programs. They haven't detected the quantum network or the Thunder-class weapons." "Good," Elena said, straightening her uniform. "Because if I'm understanding their intentions correctly, they're planning to integrate us, which sounds suspiciously like colonization." "Or worse," added Marcus grimly. Elena turned to face her team, the brightest minds from across the globe, working in absolute secrecy. "Then we continue as planned. Let them think we're primitive. Let them believe we're easy prey. And when they come..." She left the sentence unfinished, but everyone in the room understood. humanity would be ready. The first contact came 6 months later. It was public, grandiose, and precisely what the Commonwealth had planned. Massive ships appeared in Earth's sky, positioning themselves above major cities around the globe. They were beautiful in their alienness, sleek vessels with organic curves and pulsing lights that defied human engineering. Their message was broadcast simultaneously in all of Earth's major languages. People of Earth, we are the Galactic Commonwealth, an alliance of advanced civilizations dedicated to peace, prosperity, and progress throughout the galaxy. We have observed your world for many years and have deemed you ready for integration into our collective. Rejoice, for your days of isolation are over. Your leaders will be contacted shortly to discuss the terms of your entrance into the Commonwealth. The world erupted in chaos. Some celebrated, others panicked. Many were skeptical. But in the hidden command center beneath the lunar surface, Alina and her team watched with cold calculation. Interesting choice of words, she said. Terms of your entrance. Not an invitation, but a foregone conclusion. Their ships are positioning themselves above strategic locations, reported Marcus. Military installations, seat of governments, major population centers. A show of force, Alina concluded. Classic intimidation tactics. Make first contact with overwhelming might, shock and awe the primitives, then present your demands when they're too disoriented to resist. The world's leaders were indeed contacted. The Commonwealth's terms were simple. Earth would provide resources and human labor for Commonwealth projects. In return, the Commonwealth would introduce selected technologies to Earth, gradually elevating humanity to a more suitable level of development. Earth would have no representation in the Commonwealth Council for at least 2 centuries, a probationary period. In essence, they were offering colonization wrapped as a gift. The United Earth Defense Council, a secret body formed after the discovery of alien surveillance, deliberated for less than an hour before delivering their response. Earth respectfully declines integration under the proposed terms. We welcome diplomatic relations between equals and look forward to establishing mutually beneficial arrangements with the Galactic Commonwealth. The Commonwealth's response was swift and predictable. Their ships began targeted strikes against military installations around the globe. Precise, calculated demonstrations of their technological superiority. They expected immediate surrender. They didn't expect what happened next. All silent thunder platforms. This is Commander Reyes. Execute protocol defiance. Across Earth's orbit, hidden platforms suddenly shimmered into existence as their quantum state camouflage deactivated. Each platform housed multiple Thunder-class weapons, directed energy systems based on principles of physics the Commonwealth believed humans couldn't possibly understand. The alien vessels, confident in their superiority, had deployed minimal shielding. The first volley from Earth's defense grid tore through 3 Commonwealth cruisers before they could react, sending them plummeting toward the ocean, where specialized recovery teams waited to salvage the advanced technology. They're adjusting shield frequencies, reported Sanjay, monitoring the battle from the Lunar Command Center. Adapting faster than we anticipated. Elena nodded. Deploy the resonance disruptors. Smaller, faster vessels emerged from hidden hangars on Earth's surface and the far side of the moon. These were Earth's first true space fighters, craft designed not for exploration but for war. They carried weapons specifically designed to counteract Commonwealth technology based on the years of secret observation and analysis. The Commonwealth commanders were in disarray. Their intelligence had indicated Earth possessed nothing close to this level of technology. Their sensors were being jammed, their communications disrupted, and their ships were suddenly vulnerable to attacks they couldn't properly defend against. They're retreating, Marcus announced, unable to keep the triumph from his voice as the Commonwealth vessels began to withdraw, regrouping at a safe distance from Earth's defense grid. They're regrouping, Elena corrected him. This was just their advance force. Expect the full armada within days. She turned to face her team, her expression grave but determined. But we've accomplished what we needed to. They know now that Earth isn't the easy target they thought we were. And when they return with everything they have. She looked at the tactical display, showing Earth's complete defense network, hundreds of platforms, thousands of fighters, and defense systems that span the globe. We'll be waiting. In the Commonwealth Council chamber, chaos reigned. Reports of the failed first contact operation streamed in, each more alarming than the last. Vex Morris' scales had darkened with rage and embarrassment. "Impossible," he roared. "Their technology cannot be this advanced. Our intelligence was thorough." Councillor Zinlera's expression was thoughtful. "Perhaps they anticipated us. Perhaps they have been hiding their true capabilities. Or received help," suggested another councillor. "Could one of our rivals be using Earth as a proxy?" Vex Morris silenced them with a gesture. "It doesn't matter. We cannot allow this humiliation to stand. Earth must be brought to heel, not just for its resources now, but as an example to others who might consider defiance." He turned to his military commander. "Prepare the full armada. We will crush this resistance and remind these humans of their proper place in the galaxy." The commander hesitated. "Supreme Councillor, if they have hidden this level of technology, what else might they be concealing?" Vex Morris' 6 eyes gleamed with dangerous intensity. "Are you suggesting the mighty Commonwealth should fear a single primitive world?" "Not fear, Supreme Councillor, but perhaps reconsideration. Reconsideration is for the weak. Preparation is for the strong. Ready the armada. We attack within the standard week." As the council dispersed to prepare for war, Zinlera lingered, studying the holographic image of Earth. Something about these humans fascinated her. Their defiance in the face of overwhelming odds, their ingenuity in developing technologies the Commonwealth had fought beyond them. "Perhaps," she thought, "we have been asking the wrong question all along. Not whether humans are worthy of the Commonwealth, but whether the Commonwealth is worthy of humans." But such thoughts were dangerous. The Commonwealth was moving toward war, and the machinery of its mighty civilization was not easily halted once set in motion. The humans had won the first battle, but the true test was yet to come. And across the vast emptiness of space, Earth prepared for the storm. The reckoning storm. 7 days after Earth's unexpected victory, the void beyond Mars erupted with light as hundreds of Commonwealth vessels tore through the fabric of space. Unlike the initial force, this was no diplomatic mission with military backup. This was the full might of the Commonwealth's Third Fleet, a force that had subjugated a dozen worlds and crushed rebellions across 3 star systems. From her command center deep beneath the lunar surface, Alina Reyes watched the tactical display with a grim expression. The Commonwealth Armada spread out in a classic attack formation, their ships moving with practiced precision. "They're not taking any chances this time," observed Colonel Chen, his face illuminated by the holographic display. "Full combat deployment." Elena nodded. "As expected. Battle stations, everyone. Initiate Thunderhead Protocol." Throughout the Earth-Moon system, defensive systems activated. The platforms that had repelled the first attack were just the visible layer of Earth's defenses. Now the full network came online. Weapon systems embedded in asteroids, stealth satellites in complex orbits, and automated drone swarms hiding in the shadow of the moon. "Commonwealth Fleet is approaching Mars orbit," reported Lieutenant Kamala Singh from her monitoring station. "Their scan patterns indicate they're being cautious, looking for hidden defenses." "Good," Alina said. "Let them come to us. Maintain stealth protocols until they cross the engagement line." The Commonwealth Fleet advanced slowly, probing for traps, expecting resistance. But Earth's defenses remained invisible, silent, waiting. On the flagship of the Commonwealth Armada, Fleet Commander Draz Kor studied the tactical display with all 4 of his eyes. His secondary eyes remained fixed on the various status reports flowing in from the fleet's sensors. No sign of their defense platforms. He noted to his second-in-command. Perhaps they were mobile, suggested Sub-Commander Vextral, a younger, ambitious officer from the same species as the Supreme Councillor. Or perhaps they exhausted their capabilities in the first engagement. Drazkor made a gurgling sound that served as a laugh in his species. Do not underestimate these humans as we did before. Those platforms are out there, waiting. They've simply improved their concealment. He gestured to the display. Standard approach. Maintain maximum shield coverage and prepare point defense systems. I want continuous scanning on all frequencies they might use. As the Commonwealth fleet passed the orbit of Mars, tension grew on the bridge. Every officer expected an attack at any moment, yet the void remained silent. Perhaps they truly have exhausted their resources, Vextrol suggested again. Drazkor's skin rippled with doubt. No, they're waiting for something. As if in answer to his words, alarms suddenly blared across the bridge. Massive energy surge detected, called out the sensor officer. Source: Earth's moon. Drazkor spun toward the display. Evasive maneuvers, all ships, scatter formation. But it was too late. A blinding beam of coherent energy erupted from the lunar surface, slicing through space to strike the vanguard of the Commonwealth fleet. 3 cruisers were cut in half before they could react, their shields useless against whatever weapon the humans had deployed. What was that? Demanded Vextrol, his composure shattered. Drazkor stared at the display, watching as his perfect formation dissolved into chaos. That, he said with grudging respect, was humanity announcing they are not prey. Direct hit, reported Marcus Chen, unable to suppress a smile as the tactical display showed the Commonwealth fleet scattering. The lunar cannon performed beyond expectations. Elena nodded, but her expression remained serious. They'll regroup quickly. This was just to disrupt their formation. Activate the Aegis network and prepare countermeasures for their return fire. The lunar cannon, the pride of Earth's defense system, began its recharging cycle. It was a massive directed energy weapon, built into the natural features of the moon to help conceal its existence. It could fire only once every 30 minutes, but its destructive power was unmatched by anything in Earth's arsenal. As predicted, the Commonwealth fleet quickly recovered from their initial shock. They split into 3 battle groups, approaching from different vectors to divide Earth's defensive capabilities. Standard encirclement tactic, Elena noted. Predictable but effective. The Aegis network is fully online, reported Dr. Kumar. All defensive satellites show green status. Elena tapped a command into her console. Deploy the drone swarms. Target pattern Alpha. From concealed bays around Earth's orbit, thousands of small, agile drones launched into space. Each was barely larger than a human hand, but they carried advanced electronic warfare systems designed to disrupt Commonwealth targeting and communications. The Commonwealth's first retaliatory strike came moments later, a barrage of energy weapons from their capital ships, aimed at Earth's visible defensive platforms. But as the beams approached, the Aegis network activated. Specialized satellites generated overlapping energy fields that diffused and redirected the incoming fire. They're probing our defenses, Elena observed, testing our capabilities before committing their main force. Commander, interrupted Lieutenant Singh, we're detecting unusual activity from one of the Commonwealth battle groups. They appear to be deploying some kind of device. The tactical display zoomed in on the Commonwealth's beta group. Small objects were being ejected from their ships, forming a spherical pattern in space. Dr. Kumar's eyes widened as he analyzed the data. It's a dimensional phase disruptor. They're trying to collapse our quantum camouflage fields. Elena's mind raced through the possibilities. The Commonwealth was adapting faster than expected. Redirect the Lambda drone swarm to intercept those devices. Full electronic warfare package. The swarm of drones changed course, accelerating toward the Commonwealth's devices. But before they could reach their target, the devices activated. A wave of distortion spread through space, causing the quantum state of Earth's hidden platforms to fluctuate. Across the battlefield, dozens of Earth's defensive platforms suddenly became visible as their camouflage systems failed. They've exposed our secondary defense ring, Marcus reported tensely. Elena remained calm. Activate the platform's emergency protocols. Transfer power from stealth systems to shields. The Commonwealth wasted no time. Their ships immediately concentrated fire on the now visible Earth platforms. Energy beams and projectiles streaked across the void, overwhelming several of the platforms before they could fully power their shields. "We're losing the outer defensive perimeter," reported Marcus. "As expected," Elena replied. "Initiate Thunderstrike." On the Commonwealth flagship, Fleet Commander Drazkor was beginning to feel confident again. The phase disruptors had worked, revealing many of the humans' hidden defenses. His ships were now methodically destroying these platforms. "Their technology is impressive for such a young species," he admitted, "but ultimately insufficient. Begin the approach for the main assault on their planetary defenses." "Commander," interrupted his sensor officer, "I'm detecting multiple launches from Earth's surface." Drazkor turned to the display. "Conventional missiles. Target and destroy them." "Not missiles, sir. Ships. Hundreds of them." The tactical display updated to show swarms of small craft rising from Earth's atmosphere. They were arranged in tight formation groups, accelerating rapidly toward the Commonwealth fleet. "Fighters." Vex Trawl sounded incredulous. "They think to challenge our capital ships with fighters." Drazkor wasn't so dismissive. "Something isn't right. Scan those craft immediately." The scan results appeared on his personal display, and Drazkor's skin paled. "Those aren't conventional fighters. They're carrying the same energy signatures as their lunar weapon. All ships, evasive action. Prioritize those incoming craft." But his warning came too late. The Earth fighters, designated Thunderhawks, were upon them. Unlike traditional fighters, these were designed for a single devastating attack run. Each carried a miniaturized version of the technology that powered the lunar cannon. The first wave tore through the Commonwealth's defensive screen. Dozens of fighters were destroyed by point defense systems, but many more got through. They didn't fire missiles or energy weapons. Instead, they simply accelerated directly toward their targets. When they impacted the Commonwealth ship's shields, they detonated in spectacular fashion. Each explosion created a localized disruption field that momentarily collapsed the target's shields, leaving it vulnerable to conventional attacks that followed immediately. "They're using suicide drones," Vex Trawl shouted. "No," Drazkor corrected, watching as a second wave approached. "They're unmanned. Sophisticated drone craft." Commonwealth ships began to fall. First, the smaller escorts, then even the larger cruisers as multiple Thunderhawks coordinated their attacks on single targets. The perfect formation of the Commonwealth Armada had dissolved into pockets of desperate resistance. In the Lunar Command Center, Elena watched the battle unfold with intense focus. The Thunderhawks were performing above expectations, crippling the Commonwealth fleet's outer defenses. "First and second waves have achieved 70% of objectives," reported Marcus. "Commonwealth fleet is in disarray." "The lunar cannon is recharged," added Lieutenant Singh. Elena nodded. "Target their flagship and fire." Once more, the surface of the moon erupted with energy as the massive cannon fired its devastating beam. This time, the Commonwealth was prepared, and their flagship attempted to evade. But the beam clipped its engines, sending the massive vessel spinning out of control. "Direct hit on their propulsion systems," confirmed Marcus. "Their flagship is crippled." Elena allowed herself a small smile. "Launch the third wave of Thunderhawks. Concentrate on their remaining capital ships." As the battle raged in Earth's orbit, another development was unfolding that neither side had anticipated. Throughout the Commonwealth fleet, communications began to fail. Navigation systems showed incorrect data. Power fluctuations affected shields and weapons. "Commander," Dr. Kumar called out, "we're detecting unusual activity in the Commonwealth fleet's systems. It's not coming from our electronic warfare platforms." Elena frowned, studying the new data. "Source: unknown, but it appears to be internal to their network. Almost like a virus," Elena finished, "or sabotage." Aboard the crippled Commonwealth flagship, Chaos reigned. Systems were failing across the ship, and communications with the rest of the fleet were sporadic at best. How is this possible? Vextrol demanded. Their technology shouldn't be capable of penetrating our cyber defenses. It's not coming from outside, the ship's systems officer reported, his tentacles working frantically across multiple interfaces. The disruption is originating from within our own network. It's as if. He never finished his sentence. The bridge doors slid open, and several Commonwealth officers entered with weapons drawn. But they weren't aiming at the humans. They were aiming at their own commanders. What is the meaning of this? Drazkor demanded. One of the officers stepped forward. Though he appeared to be of the same species as many Commonwealth citizens, subtle differences marked him as different. The meaning, Commander, is that not all members of the Commonwealth share the High Council's vision. Understanding dawned on Drazkor's face. The Liberation Front. You're with the rebels. The officer inclined his head. We prefer to call ourselves the Alliance of Free Worlds. And yes, we have operatives throughout your fleet. We've been waiting for an opportunity like this, a clear demonstration that the Commonwealth is not invincible. You're siding with these humans. They're barely civilized. The officer laughed. Are they? They've just defeated the pride of the Commonwealth fleet with technology you thought beyond them. Perhaps your definition of civilized needs revision. Across the Commonwealth fleet, similar scenes were playing out. Sleeper agents of the Alliance of Free Worlds, a coalition of resistance movements from multiple subjugated species, revealed themselves. The battle was no longer just between Earth and the Commonwealth. It had become the spark for a much larger rebellion. Elena was still trying to make sense of the unexpected system failures in the Commonwealth fleet when a new communication signal broke through the battle noise. This is Captain Threlvan of the Alliance of Free Worlds to Earth Command. We request immediate parley. Elena exchanged glances with her team before responding. This is Commander Elena Reyes of Earth Defense Force. Identify yourself and your intentions. The view screen activated, showing a humanoid alien with distinctive ridged features. Commander Reyes, we are a resistance movement within the Commonwealth. For decades, we have fought against their imperialism and subjugation of lesser species. When we learned of their plans for Earth, we saw an opportunity to strike a significant blow against their power. The system failures in their fleet. That was your doing. Threlvan nodded. Our operatives have infiltrated many of their vessels. We've been sabotaging their systems from within while you engaged them from without. Together, we have achieved what neither of us could have done alone. The defeat of a Commonwealth armada. Elena studied the alien carefully. And what do you propose now? An alliance, Commander. Earth has proven itself a force to be reckoned with. The Commonwealth will not forget this defeat easily. They will return with an even larger force unless we prevent it. How would you suggest we do that? Threlvan's expression grew determined. By taking the fight to them. With Earth's technology and our intelligence about Commonwealth weaknesses, we could strike directly at the heart of their power. Force them to recognize both Earth and the Alliance as sovereign entities, not resources to be exploited. Elena considered the proposal. This was beyond her authority alone, but the opportunity was too significant to dismiss. I will need to consult with Earth's leadership, but speaking personally, I believe we share common interests. Excellent, Threlvan replied. In the meantime, we can coordinate to secure the remaining Commonwealth vessels in your system. Many of their crew will join our cause when they learn the true nature of this conflict. As the communication ended, Elena turned to her team. The tactical display showed the once mighty Commonwealth fleet in ruins, some vessels destroyed, others disabled, many now under the control of the Alliance forces. Well, Marcus said with a low whistle, I guess we're not alone in the galaxy after all. We never were, Elena replied. We just needed to prove ourselves first. Dr. Kumar looked thoughtful. The Commonwealth underestimated us because they couldn't conceive that a younger species could surpass them in any way. Their arrogance was their downfall. Elena nodded, her gaze returning to the display where Earth shone, bright and defiant. They looked at our history of conflict and division and saw only weakness. They failed to understand that those very struggles forged our strength, our adaptability. "What now, Commander?" asked Lieutenant Singh. Elena straightened her uniform. "Now we negotiate from a position of strength. We establish Earth as a power to be respected, not exploited. And perhaps," she added with a small smile, "we help reshape the galaxy into something better than the Commonwealth ever envisioned." In the Galactic Commonwealth's High Council chamber, Supreme Councilor Vex Mora received the news of his fleet's defeat with cold fury. His scales had turned almost black with rage. "Impossible," he hissed. "One primitive world, with the help of terrorists and traitors, has destroyed our finest fleet." Councilor Zinlara stepped forward. "Perhaps it is time to reconsider our approach, Supreme Councilor. These humans have demonstrated capabilities far beyond our expectations, and the Alliance's involvement suggests deep dissatisfaction within the Commonwealth itself. Are you suggesting we negotiate with inferiors? With rebels? I am suggesting we adapt to a changing reality. The humans have technologies we did not believe possible for their development stage. The Alliance has more support than we recognized. Together, they have dealt us a significant blow." Other councilors murmured in agreement. The defeat could not be ignored or explained away. Something fundamental had changed in the balance of power. Vex Mora's eyes narrowed dangerously. "This is not over. This is merely the beginning. If Earth wants war, they shall have it. We will gather every fleet, every resource." "And how many more defeats will it take?" interrupted Zinlara boldly, "before you recognize that perhaps our assumptions about our place in the galaxy were wrong? How many more lives will you sacrifice to your pride?" The council chamber fell silent. Never had anyone dared speak to the Supreme Councilor in such a manner. After a long, tense moment, Vex Mora spoke with deadly quiet. "You suggest an alternative. I suggest diplomacy. Real diplomacy, not the facade of it we presented to Earth initially. I suggest we recognize both Earth and the Alliance as legitimate powers and negotiate agreements that benefit all parties. Concede to terrorists and primitives. Evolve," Zinlara corrected, "as all successful species must." The debate would rage for days within the Council, but the outcome was already becoming clear. The Commonwealth's aura of invincibility had been shattered. New powers were rising in the galaxy. Earth with its surprising technological prowess, and the Alliance with its network of resistance fighters spread throughout Commonwealth territory. The galaxy was changing, and it had all begun because the mighty Commonwealth had made the fatal mistake of underestimating a single primitive world called Earth. As negotiations began between Earth, the Alliance, and eventually even representatives of a reluctant Commonwealth, Commander Elena Reyes reflected on how quickly everything had changed. From a species dismissed as barely worth notice, humanity had catapulted itself onto the galactic stage. They laughed at Earth's power, she mused to herself as she prepared for the first formal diplomatic meeting. They're not laughing anymore. The storm had passed, but its effects would reshape the galaxy for centuries to come. And humanity, once thought insignificant, would stand at the center of this new order, respected, feared, and never again underestimated.